Hello everybody! Today I'm going to talk about 5 simple ways to ease bloating. This is something that's come up a couple of times with my clients in clinic this week, and I know it affects a lot of people, and there's some really simple things that you can do to help that feeling of kind of looking like you're pregnant when you're not, and you've got a big tight tummy and it's really uncomfortable. So we're going to look at 5 simple things that you can do. So tip number 1 is when you've got your meal ready, sit down, because obviously sitting down to eat is better than trying to eat on the run. That's one of the big causes of bloating. So sit down and take 3 slow, deep breaths. The reason I'm saying this is because taking 3 slow, deep breaths helps your body to realise that it doesn't have to be stressed at the minute. It can move out of fight or flight mode into rest and digest mode. So it goes from one side of your nervous system response to the other. And this means it doesn't have to be stressed, so there's no stress hormones flying around, and it can think, right, we can enjoy this meal properly. So just taking those slow deep breaths calms your nervous system down and gets your body into that receptive state for food. So that's tip number 1. Number 2 is to chew your food properly. And I know a lot of people are guilty of this, of just hoovering up the meal really quickly because you've got stuff to do, so you move on from that really quickly. But your food's not going to get chewed anywhere but in your mouth because your stomach doesn't have teeth. So you've got to chew it properly there. Getting things right at the beginning of the digestive process means that it's less likely to cause problems as it works its way through your body. So we're going to sit down, take 3 slow deep breaths and chew food properly. The next tip is kind of something that used to be done a lot, and I think it is still done in some European countries, where they have a little starter of bitter leaves, like a little bitter leaf salad. So it might have things like rocket, watercress, some chicory, dandelion leaves even. If you've got dandelions growing in your garden, just wash them properly, chop them up. And these bitter leaves, when you chew them properly, that bitter taste stimulates the nerve that goes right down to your stomach and gets your stomach to produce digestive juices so that it breaks the food down properly. And then this means it kind of goes through properly without causing all the bloating. So a nice just little salad, doesn't have to be big, just kind of a handful of leaves. Put a bit of lemon juice on, a bit of olive oil if you want to. Chew that properly as your starter, and then about 10 or so minutes later have your main course, and that can help to make things easier to digest. So we've got our bitter salad. Tip number 4, this is something that we were talking about earlier on in the week in the group, which is apple cider vinegar. So if you've got gastritis or stomach ulcers or any kind of sensitivity in your stomach, I would leave off this one because the vinegar can aggravate that. But if you haven't, then just try putting a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into a little bit of water, so about probably that much water in the bottom of a glass, and it can be warm or cold. I quite like it with warm water. And just drink that about 5-10 minutes or so before your meal, and that helps to support the acidic environment in your stomach. So again, it helps the food to be broken down properly so it passes through the rest of your digestive system comfortably. If you can't stand the idea of vinegar and it makes you go ugh, which it did me at first, and then I realised actually it's quite nice and I've got the taste for it now. You can go to health food stores where they have things like digestive enzymes in capsule form, which you can take with a meal, and that does a similar thing. And then the last tip, tip number 5, if you've ended up with some bloating and you really want to ease it, try something like fennel tea or caraway tea or aniseed tea. You can get these in tea bags, or you can just buy the seeds and brew them yourself in hot water, and they're really soothing, calmative to your digestive system, so it helps to ease any trapped wind and bloating. Caraway is what's used in gripe water for babies, helps them get their wind moving, and it does the same for us as adults. You can even use these seeds in cooking as well, so if you know something is going to maybe make you feel a bit bloated, like cabbage or some of the other brassica vegetables, just sprinkle some of these seeds into the pan when you're steaming them, and you'll chew them alongside the vegetables and it helps you digest them better. So a quick run through again of our top 5 tips. So we've got sitting down to eat, we've got taking the 3 slow deep breaths, chewing our food properly, we've got the little bitter salad to have as a starter before your main course, and we've got the apple cider vinegar in water, and finally using some of the herbs like fennel, caraway and aniseed to help your bloating. So let me know if you try any of these tips, how you get on, and I'll see you soon. Bye.